Good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm Hannah Batam.
I'm Sophie Flay. We begin with growing unrest in Minnesota. New clashes between federal agents and protesters angry at the government's immigration crackdown.
President Trump says a day of reckoning is coming. Meanwhile, more prosecutors are resigning in protest over how the government is investigating the deadly shooting of Renee Good by an immigration officer. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
Anti-ICE protests intensifying in Minneapolis. Agents clashing with demonstrators 1 week after Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE officer. And this morning, at least 6 federal prosecutors have resigned over how the case is being handled by the government, focusing on investigating Renee Good and her ties to protest groups. The Trump administration claiming she was a domestic terrorist. State and local officials outraged, saying the FBI is not sharing evidence.
The Department of Justice Civil Rights Department, which conducts use of force death investigations, has been excluded from this particular operation. So the people who do officer-involved civil rights use of force cases are not involved.
But Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche saying there is currently no basis for a criminal civil rights investigation. Tensions in the city rising, agents deploying tear gas into a crowd, demonstrators throwing snowballs, body slamming an ICE vehicle, a protester pinned to the ground while residents filmed and confronted agents. A woman pulled out of this vehicle while claiming she's disabled, and allegations that American citizens were detained while working at this Target store in Minnesota. As for Renee Good, President Trump was asked what he would say to her father, Trump saying, "I would bet you that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person, but her actions were pretty tough." Influential podcaster Joe Rogan weighing in, appearing to question the administration's immigration crackdown.
And I can also see the point of view of the people that say, yeah, but you don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to?
Minnesota and the Twin Cities have filed lawsuits claiming agents were told to, quote, push the envelope of immigration enforcement tactics. President Trump responding saying Minnesota Democrats love the unrest that anarchists and professional agitators are causing. Fear not, great people of Minnesota. The day of reckoning and retribution is coming. ICE has been targeting the undocumented Somali immigrant population. Homeland Security is now revoking temporary protected status for thousands of Somali refugees, ordering them to leave by March, claiming conditions in Somalia have improved.
Republicans are vowing to hold former President Clinton in contempt of Congress after he failed to show up for a deposition in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Bill and Hillary Clinton are defying subpoenas from a House committee, claiming the subpoenas are invalid. In a letter, the Clintons said they have nothing material to offer the investigation.
No one's accusing Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. We just have questions, and that's why the Democrats voted along with Republicans to subpoena Bill Clinton.
When asked why President Trump has not been called to testify, the committee chairman said Trump answers questions about Epstein every day. If the House finds Clinton is in contempt, it could lead to prosecution. President Trump appeared to give a heckler the middle finger at this Ford factory in Michigan. The man shouted the words pedophile protector, an apparent reference to the Jeffrey Epstein case. Trump also mouthed what seemed like an expletive. That worker has now reportedly been suspended. The White House says Trump gave an appropriate response.
President Trump is offering to help anti-government protesters in Iran as they face a violent crackdown from the government. Trump is urging those protesters not to give up as he issues a new warning to Iran's leadership. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details. Nicole, good morning.
Hannah, good morning. President Trump says the U.S. is prepared to take action inside Iran as the regime escalates a deadly crackdown on protesters, with the death toll rising dramatically.
This morning, human rights groups say nearly 2,500 people have been killed in Iran, but warn that number could be much higher. This as new accounts of the regime's brutal crackdown on anti-government protesters emerge. One doctor in Tehran saying security forces are deliberately shooting at the head and the eyes so they can no longer see. Activists claim state TV has broadcast dozens of coerced confessions from detained protesters under duress. Iranian forces days ago imposed a near total communications blackout and are now reportedly going door to door confiscating satellite dishes to stop video from getting out. One image activists have been sharing is that of 26-year-old Irfan Soltani, an Iranian reportedly facing imminent execution. President Trump warning the U.S. will take very strong action if the regime begins executing people. Trump saying help is on the way.
To all Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions if possible, and save the name of the killers and the abusers that are abusing you. I say save their names because they'll pay a very big price.
In the meantime, at the White House today, the focus will be on Greenland as Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio meet with leaders of the Danish territory who oppose President Trump's effort to take over the territory. Greenland's prime minister is saying his nation would rather remain part of Denmark. Trump responding.
I disagree with him. I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him.
Many Greenland residents say they're worried about what comes next.
It causes a great deal of worry about the future. People are reporting difficulties to sleep. This is really filling the agenda and the discussions around the households.
T-shirts reading "Greenland is not for sale" now line the streets.
Greenland is part of the NATO alliance, and a treaty allows the U.S. to expand its military presence there. But President Trump says the U.S. needs to take it over to improve security in the Arctic.
Also happening today, climate experts from NOAA and NASA are set to release their annual global temperatures assessment. The recap will include significant global weather and climate events from last year and a review of the ocean's heat content and sea ice.